Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up a leaderboard using Google Play services for your Android games. So I've already done the setup to get one of my leaderboards working, but I'll go through the process again to show you how I got it done. And the first thing you're going to have to do is set up your configuration. So I've got mine set up already. When you go to add a credential, you'll have to choose what type of credential you're setting up, the name, and then a couple other settings here. So the name should be the name of your game. Obviously, if you're making it for Android, make it Android. This probably won't be here for you if it's your first one. This is just for a second one, I think, and then you can choose that option there too. And then the main thing here is you have to choose an OAuth client. So you're gonna have to actually make one of those, and to do that, if you click the Create OAuth client here, it'll show you how to do it. But if you click this Create OAuth client ID here, it'll bring you to the Google Cloud Platform page here. And then you have to choose your application type here, so it'll be Android. And you need to make sure you put in your name here, so in my case it's =y, and then it actually says what the proper information is here too, so I'll just copy my package name as well. And then you need a fingerprint here. So to get that, you need to have a key store set up already. If you don't know how to do that, you can check out my other video. I'll have a link right here so you can see how to do that, but assuming you have one already. So to get the fingerprint, you can use this command here and then just replace this path to key store line with the actual path to your key store. So I've got mine set up here already. I'll just open up my command prompt here, paste that line in, and then you have to make sure you enter your key store password properly, and then it'll give you a bunch of information that I probably shouldn't show you here, so I'll probably have this blurred out. But the main thing you want is there should be a certificate fingerprints line, and then you want the SHA1 fingerprint, so you can just copy that and then paste it in there, and that should work. You can then create it. I already have one created, so I'm not going to do it again, but that should be your OAuth client setup. You'll also have to make an OAuth consent screen, so I'll switch over to a little demo project I made here just to see what it's like before you actually have it set up. So you'll have to choose internal or external. I think, yeah, you can only really choose external at this point unless you're a Google Workspace user, so you can just do that. And then again, you want to just put in as much information as you can here and save and continue. And then it'll ask you to add your scopes. So I'm back in my one that I've already created just to show you what the scopes are, but you'll need to check off the one that's /auth/games, games light, and then drive.appdata. Next up, you can add test users so that before your game's published, people can try it out. So I just added my Google Play email there that I actually use on my phone. And then I'll just show you a summary. And then you can go back to your dashboard or create it if you're creating it for the first time. And then you might have to give it a little bit to get fully set up, but you can start working on other things in the meantime. So now back in the Google Play Services configuration here, we can add our credential now. You'll be able to choose your OAuth client there now, and that should be all set up. So we've got our configuration all set up now. Now we can make our leaderboard. So I've already got one set up here, like I already said, but this is what the create screen looks like. So you can put in your name, obviously, how you want to format it, number of decimals, all that good stuff. Put in an icon too, how you want to sort it, section. Lots of good options there, but it's pretty basic, so I'm not going to set up another one right now because I do already have my brainpower one set up here. Once you do make changes though, it'll be saved as a draft and not published to everybody. So if you want people to be able to test it out, you need to make sure that you add people to your testers. So the next step is going to be to get the Play Services package for Unity. So I'll have a link to this down below, but there's a GitHub page here. It actually has some good useful information to use too, down farther, how to log in and all that. But what we want here is to go to the current build folder and then download this package here. Once that's downloaded, go to your Unity project, go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package, and then choose the package that you want to import, wherever it is. And then you can import all of this. I've already done it before, so I'm not going to click import, but all of this should be good. Once it's all imported, you should have Google Play Games on your window tab here, and then you want to go to Setup, and then Android Setup. And then in here, these two should be fine, but you want to make sure that you get your resources from your Play console. So to do that, you can go to, for example, Play Game Services tab in the Play console, and then go to our leaderboard here, and then click the Get Resources button, and then we want to copy this, and then back in our window we got up here, you want to paste it in this box here. I've already done it, but this is where you would paste it. And then you don't need a client ID, and then you click Setup. It should say configured successfully, and then resolution 6. connected, so that's looking good. Now that we've got that all set up, it's actually really simple to actually add a leaderboard to the game. Now we can start getting the code set up here. So there will be a couple things you'll want to be using. It'll be Google Play Games and then Google Play Games.basic API. I like to have a boolean here that says whether I'm connected to Google Play, but we'll get to that in a second. And then in my awake method here, this is just in my game manager. I added a couple lines after it sets up everything else here that it needs to set up. And that is to turn the debug log on for play games. And then you can just use the activate method here to activate it, I guess. In my start method here, I call my login to Google Play method, and then that just consists of this little method here. We do play games platform.instance.authenticate, and then I have a little method here that I'll show here that just says if the sign-in status is true, then you are connected to Google Play, and then I'll use that a little bit later. If not, you're not connected to Google Play, and that'll just run once this authenticate method runs too. So we're activating Google Play, we're logging in using this method here, and setting our connected status using this method here. That's all set up. Now we can actually set up our leaderboard. My leaderboard is storing the user's brain power level. So whenever the brain level goes up after they've finished the level, after it sets all the values here, it calls this little chunk of code here. It checks if we're connected to Google Play, so that's why it was important to set it earlier. And then it does social.report score, the value you want to pass in. So in this case, it's the brain power. And then you do gpgs IDs.leaderboard underscore brain power. If you want to get your ID for your leaderboard, it'll be in that resources chunk of text that we saw earlier. So you can see here, here, it's just leaderboard underscore brain power. I guess you can see that in Unity too if you go to your Google Play window. And then you pass in a method that'll run when this method runs, and that's just to see if the leaderboard update was successful. I just do a little debug log here if it was, saying that it did get updated, and if it wasn't successful, I just know that it wasn't able to update it. And then one final thing here is I also have a leaderboard button on my main menu screen. To show the leaderboard, I just use this little method here that if you're not connected to Google Play, it tries to log you in again, and then it's just an easy social.showLeaderboard UI call to actually show the leaderboard. So I'm in my game now. I uploaded an internal testing version to my Google Play dashboard and then downloaded it on my phone. When I did build and run to test through Unity 2, it did work. The leaderboard did work then too. So if we look at the leaderboard here, if I click the leaderboard button, you can see that I am number 1, of course. And you can see it did open the leaderboard too. And then if we click play here, I'll do at least a level until I level up. I was brain power 11 before, so I'll do a little fast forward here maybe. Alright, so my brain power just went up there. You can see it's 12 now instead of 11. Now if we go back to the main menu, open up the leaderboard again, you can see that my score is now 12, so it's been updated properly. So one of the main issues, or the biggest issue I ran into while trying to figure this out that I hadn't seen anybody else talk about before, was when I was uploading to my internal testing, I had, if we go to create new release here, I had releases signed by Google Play turned on, and since it was using a different signing key or something than my key store, it wasn't letting any of the Play services work. So to fix that, you need to go into here, change your app signing key when you're uploading a build. And then what I did was export and upload a key from Java Key Store. I downloaded this tool. I ran this in my command prompt and it generated a zip file. You just upload that, and then I just click save and tried it again, and then it worked that time. So if you're running into that issue where it seems like everything got set up right, but for some reason it won't work when you actually try it on your phone, this might be the reason why. But that'll do it for this video. I hope this helped you out. I know somebody requested to see a leaderboard tutorial, so hopefully this was sufficient. I hope you didn't mean iOS, because I haven't been able to figure that out yet, but maybe in the future. But if this video did help you out, make sure you leave a like, maybe subscribe. And if there's any other tutorials you want to see, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.